And welcome live to all our viewers, not only in Australia, New Zealand, and of course across the world for this NRL pre-season trial match between the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles and the Sydney Roosters. The Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles come into this 2019 trial match off the back of their worst season in history. And many of their star players are out tonight. Cherry Evans, as we all know, Trebojevic, out with injury, of course, as well as Paseka and Tanganoa, and of course Dylan Walker for issues we all know so well. And then of course the Sydney Roosters coming into this one are on the back of winning the 2019 World Club Challenge, but only 3 of their 17 from the World Club Challenge and 8 in the squad overall back up to play in this pre-season trial here tonight. So a big crowd in attendance here tonight. Been a wonderful day here on the Central Coast. Sun's still out, but the ground covered largely in shade. And we're just about ready for both teams to come out onto the field. As I said, the Sea Eagles coming off their worst season in history, finishing 15th, but crucially avoiding winning their first wooden spoon. And they come off the back of their opening trial loss against the Cronulla Sharks at Southern Cross Group Stadium. But first, the Sydney Roosters come out onto the field, weakened by the absence of so many of their star players here tonight, not only from the World Club Challenge, but also no Latrell Mitchell, no Ryan Hall. But they'll be looking to put up a competitive outing here tonight. Of course, none of their side backing up from last year's grand final to play here tonight as the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles come out onto Central Coast Stadium. Of course, the Sea Eagles have lost 15 of their last 20 official matches, including 10 of their last 13, 6 of their last 8, and their last 3, while the Roosters are on a 5-match winning streak in official matches. As we're just about ready to get underway, it'll be Craig Garvey to kick us off here. It's the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles and the Sydney Roosters. The Roosters running from right to left, the Sea Eagles going from left to right. And taking the opening hit up here is Brendan Elliott. Fainu now. Away now to Curtis Sirenen, who of course is coming back on the comeback trail from a knee injury, of course. Fainu. Away now to the charging Kurt DeLuise, who will play the ball about 5 short of halfway. Hodkinson now. Away now to Sirenen again. They're just beyond the halfway line here, the Sea Eagles. Fainu, Hodkinson, away now to, I believe, as they look to spread it now. Hodkinson goes up high, not a bad kick, and taken superbly there by Matty Kavalu. Here's a strong charge now. I believe that is Kieran Moss. And now here is Christian Tuipulotu. A lot of raps on this young kid. Was a part of the Warriors junior system before joining the Roosters in 2019 and has been a star in both Rugby League and Rugby Union at schoolboys levels. They take a quick tap here from the penalty. Here is Asu Kepaoa. Or rather it was Craig Garvey. Here's a strong charge now from Pawasa Farmasili. They're about 30 metres away here. Inside ball here from Lamb. as Collins will play the ball. Lamb away now to Butcher as he's dragged to the ground there by Fainu, as well as the number 13 and Corey Waddell. Lamb runs and is brought down solidly about 3 metres away here, the Roosters. Can they score the opening points here? Garvey tries to put in a lovely grubber kick, picked up here by Lamb. Lamb puts in another grubber kick, deflected and dived on there by Serenan. And he was offside there, so a penalty here coming up, I believe. No, it was a knock-on. A knock-on here from Manly. It's deemed to be accidental offside. And the Roosters will get another set of 6 here. Early stages here, if you're just joining us here at Central Coast Stadium. Both sides trying to feel each other out early on here. So Garvey feeds a scrum. Ikavalu, awful pass there from Ikavalu and dived on there by Angus Crichton, who plays his first match for the Sydney Roosters since joining the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Of course, both the Roosters and the Rabbitohs will play each other in round 1 in what will be the 242nd meeting between those two sides. Garvey, away now to Lindsay Collins. And he lost the ball there. Knock on there from Collins. And the Seagulls will get the ball back. What a let-off there for Manly. So it's going to be Trent Hodkinson now to feed the scrum. Of course, was a part of the New South Wales team back in 2014 and 2015 that ended, of course, Queensland's 8-series drought. Ended New South Wales 8-year series drought back in 2014, of course, scoring the winning try in Game 2 of that series, of course. Here is Kurt DeLuise. And now Fainu away now to the strong charging Corey Waddell as he's brought down well there by Sitaleti Tupanua. And there's a lovely break here from Moses Suley as he's dragged down from behind there from Lindsay Collins. And they've lost the ball here, Manly. Knock on there from Moses Suley, who has been criticised in large circles, I guess, for his professionalism. Of course, has lost 12 kilos during the off-season to get back to his normal playing weight. And I guess in some circles, I sort of think that it's a bit unfair to criticise him since he's only 20 years of age about his professionalism. And hopefully he can find some good form, and that's a cracking hit there. Corey Waddell, what a hit there. So the Roosters now trying to drag themselves out of their own end here. Garvey away now to Farmasilli. They're just beyond the halfway line here, the Roosters. Garvey, Butcher, and a knock-on here from Tupanua. Knock-on from the Roosters. And it's a bit stop and start early on here in Gosford. Course for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles, Des Hasler back at the helm for his second stint at the Sea Eagles, of course, coaching the Sea Eagles from 2004 to 2011, only missing the playoffs once back in 2004, although in 2010, if not for the Melbourne Storm's systematic salary cap breaches, they would have missed the 8, the Sea Eagles, back in 2010, but they won the premierships in 2008 and of course in 2011 before Hasler moved on to the Bulldogs, where he took them to 2 grand finals in the next 3 years. So the Sea Eagles on the attack here. Hodkinson away now to Serenin. Gets it off out the back now to Elliott. And Elliott is well wrapped up here by Matikavalu, as well as Christian Tuipulotu. Serenin. Hodkinson. Inside ball here for Kurt de Luis. They're about 15 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. Fainu. Hodkinson puts in the kick and well cleaned up there by Kieran Moss, who returns to Australia after playing in the United Kingdom from 2016 to 2018, scoring 48 tries in 62 matches across stints at the Bradford Bulls, Hull KR, the York Knights and of course Halifax. He even scored a remarkable 7 tries for the York City Knights last year against the West Wales Raiders. So the Roosters now trying to be out of their own end here. Here is Collins, maybe copping a slight high one there from Kurt de Luis. They're about 7 short of halfway as Lamb will kick high and long. This should be a tester here for Elliott, but takes it well. Looking to spread it, but has to run the ball himself here. And he's brought down well by Farmer Silly. Here's Garrick. Fainu. Away now to Brad Parker. So the Sea Eagles now just a few short of halfway. Here is Moses Silly. Crunch from behind there from Craig Garvey. And a penalty here for the Sea Eagles. So this will be a good opportunity here for Manly to go out on the attack. Of course, had the 8th best attack last year, scoring just under 21 points per game, but their defence was the worst of all, conceding almost 26 points per game, the Sea Eagles, in 2018. They'll be looking to change that here in 2019, that is for sure. Here's a strong charge now from Waddell! And Corey Waddell has scored! And that is the perfect start for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles. 4-0 kick to come. And he just breaks straight through. The defence from the Sydney Roosters there, non-existent. Surprisingly so, considering in official matches they've only conceded 3 tries in the last 276 minutes of official play coming into tonight. So Trent Hodkinson now looking to make it a 6-0 lead here for the Sea Eagles. Scored 52 points last year, kicking 22 from 27 last year with the boot. Looking to make it 6-0. And he makes no mistake, 6-0 after 11 minutes of play. Of course, the Roosters have won 7 of their last 12 against the Sea Eagles, including their last 2, but they have lost 5 of their last 8, including 3 of their last 5. So not a good start here from the Roosters, although tonight won't count in the official statistics between these two sides, of course. And charging it back here from the kickoff is Toafoa Sipley. Fainu away now to Kurt de Luis. Fainu. LG away now to the number 11 in Jack Gibson. And now Fainu LG away now to Parker, almost breaking through. Great tackle there from Angus Crichton. And a knock-on from dummy half from Tavita Funa. And the Roosters get a huge let-off there. They're just short of halfway here, the Roosters. Here is Christian Tuipulotu. They're 35 metres away. Garvey away now to Butcher. Butcher driving to within 19 of the line, put down by about 3 Seagulls defenders there. Garvey, they go to the right. Lamb, short pass here now for Farmasilli. They're about 12 metres away here. Collins now driving and bent over backwards there. They're 5 away here. Here is Farmasilli. And that will be a changeover. So the Seagulls now trying to move themselves out of their own end here after scoring the opening points of the night through Corey Waddell, which was duly converted from right in front from Trent Hodkinson. Strong run there from Funa. And being asked to go back to the mark to play the ball. Fainu. Here is DeLuise to play the ball. Just beyond his own 30. Hodkinson now will kick long from inside his 40 here. The Roosters having to go back and chase back. Well handled in the end there by Kepaoa. And Kepaoa now breaks away from one before being put down by Moses Surley. Lamb. Away now to Kieran Moss. Lamb. So Ikavalu now to play the ball about 11 short of halfway. Garvey now looking to fend off to Luis. And he just gets beyond halfway before being wrapped up by Hodkinson. Here is Tupaniwa. Picking up about 10 metres there. The Roosters on the last tackle now. Lamb puts it up high. Not a bad one, and well handled there by the winger and Ruben Garrick. Here is Surley now, and he almost loses the ball. He has lost the ball. Knock on there from Moses Surley, and the Roosters are in perfect position to strike back. Really, the hand there, I believe there, of Tuipulotu forcing the ball out there of the grip of Moses Surley. And now the Roosters. Can they strike back here to defending premiers? Although with none of their 2018 grand final side playing here tonight. Lamb, away now to Lachlan Lamb. They're about 20 away here, and a knock on there. An awful pass there from Kieran Moss to Angus Crichton, and that's a huge let off there for the Sea Eagles. So Kane LG now to feed the scrum here for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles. Of course, Kane LG has only played 30 matches in the last 2 years, or effectively 3 years. Of course, after picking up an ACL injury, which forced him out of the 2016 season, as Surley loses the ball. Lamb away now to Christian Tuipulotu. So the Roosters now back out on the attack now. Here's Satili Tupaniwa now. They're 30 metres away here, the Roosters. Here is Farmasilli. Garvey. Out the back now, Butcher away to Lamb. And Lamb being dumped on his back and somersaulted there by Jack Gibson. Garvey away now to Collins. They're 5 metres away here, the Roosters. Garvey, Butcher, out the back, Lamb, away now to Moss and well wrapped up there by Surley. Last tackle now for the Roosters. And they're in! Manly-Warringah has scored! That is tremendous play there from the Sydney Roosters. And that right edge defence of the Sea Eagles there was shown up superbly.
First try for the Roosters, crossing out wide, number 2,
Lovely play here from Tupaniwa, and then a beautiful cutout ball to Ikavalu, who spun past Hodkinson. Just what the Roosters were after. So it will be Brock Lamb to take up the kicking duties here tonight for the Sydney Roosters. Of course, joining the Roosters this year from the Newcastle Knights. Kicked 7 from 7 last year with the boot when he played in the NRL. He's kicked 30 from 35 in his NRL career. And he'll be looking to level up the scores here in this final warm-up match before the 2019 Telstra Premiership. So Lamb, a picture of focus, meticulous in his setup, about 25 metres out, a metre in from touch, steps up, strikes it, and it is waved away to the right. 6-4 the Sea Eagles lead after almost 20 minutes of play here in Gosford. So we're back underway here at Central Coast Stadium, and charging it back here is Collins. Garvey away now to, I believe that is Kepawawa, and now Garvey away now to Butcher, and Butcher is stopped about 8 short of halfway. Garvey, and a knock on there from Crichton. Knock on there from Angus Crichton, and the Sea Eagles will get the ball in relatively good field position here. So LG now to feed the scrum. Fainu. Elliott away now to Parker. They're 41 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. LG away now to the strong charging Jack Gibson. They're 37 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. Here is Kurt De Luis. Picking up about 8 metres there, and now Fainu. Out the back, LG Parker gets it away now to the number 20, and Funa trying to bump off a couple and has stopped about 5 metres away. The Sea Eagles are on the attack here. Can they grab their second try? Parker, LG, Fainu, inside ball here for Kurt De Luis. And De Luis is stopped about 14 metres away here. Last tackle, Fainu. LG puts in the grubber here, and are they in? They sure are! Jack Gibson. A beautiful grubber kick there from Kane LG, and it was perfectly weighted for Jack Gibson. Brilliant. Beautiful grubber. Kepawawa couldn't get there, but Jack Gibson sure did. And this second string Roosters outfit has been exposed twice now in defence. So Hodkinson now looking to give the Seagulls here a 12-4 lead. Steps up, strikes it, it looks good. It looks magnifique for 12-4. The Roosters' defence really exposed twice in the opening 24 minutes of play here at the Central Coast Stadium. The Seagulls lead by 12 points to 4 if you're just joining us here on NRL.com. Tries for the number 13 in Corey Waddell, and of course the number 11 in Jack Gibson have given the Seagulls this 12-4 lead over the Roosters. Matikawalu scoring the only try so far for the Sydney Roosters. As the Seagulls drive beyond halfway, here is Kurt De Luis. Last tackle now. Hodkinson launches high, not a bad one, and taken superbly there by Ikavalu. Taken very comfortably as he's brought down well by Sirenen. Here is Christian Tuipulotu now. Of course, plied his trade over in New Zealand at St Paul's College. Has been compared to New Zealand Warriors player Tohu Harris, Christian Tuipulotu. It'll be interesting to follow his progress over the coming few years, that is for sure. Surely one of the next big things in the game of rugby league. Garvey, Butcher, away now to Farmers Silly. They're about 45 metres away here, the Roosters. Lamb launches high on the last. Tester here for Elliott, takes it well, looks to take it back, and is brought down well by Collins as well as Butcher. Hodkinson away now to the number 20 in Tavita Funa, and now Fainu away now to the charging Zach Docker Clay, I believe. Actually it was the number 11 in Jack Gibson. As the Seagulls drive beyond halfway here, we've got 14 minutes to go until the break. LG, a lovely ball there. Almost breaking through there was Gashevsky. And now Fainu, LG launches off a step. Bit awkward for him there, and taken superbly by Kepawawu, who throws it back in spectacularly, and it was cleaned up well by Kira Moss to save the day for the Roosters. So Ikavalu playing the ball. Tuipulotu to play the ball. Garvey. Away now to Farmer-Silly. Garvey. Looking to throw it around here a bit, the Roosters. Butcher now. Drives to within about 6 of halfway as he's bent over backwards there by Corey Waddell. Garvey. Lamb. Drives long and off the side of his foot there, and it manages to stay in the field of play and roll into touch. That was a bit of a lucky one there for Brock Lamb, and the Seagulls will have a scrum. Of course, Brock Lamb has started 29 of his 32 NRL matches with the Knights in the halves, 26 at 5'8", 3 at halfback, winning 6 of those 29, but none of those wins came at halfback. The Newcastle Knights really showed patience in him, and it's going to be interesting to see if Trent Robertson can show the same patience in him. Of course, he'll be, I guess, in a filling kind of role, an understudy to Cooper Cronk in 2019, and will likely be plying most of his trade for the North Sydney Bears in the Intrust Super Premiership. Of course, the new feeder team for the Sydney Roosters in 2019. Fainu, Hodkinson, and a knock on, another error again from Moses Surley. He's having a shocker here tonight so far. Another costly error again from Moses Surley. Well, it hasn't cost him just yet, but of course we all know his professionalism has been questioned over his short and young career so far, perhaps unfairly in certain circles. Of course, sacked by the West Tigers at the start of 2018, and then was sacked by the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs just 28 days later after joining the Bulldogs. But hopefully Manly will be his home for the foreseeable future. At least he'll hope so, that is for sure. So the Roosters now, they're on the attack. Can they respond back here? Just under 11 minutes to go until halftime. The Seagulls lead by 12 points to 4. Collins, Lamb, knocked on by Surley. And that will be 6 more tackles here for the Roosters, but no advantage, I believe. Lamb lucky not to have this ball intercepted. If he had managed to catch that ball, Surley, he was long gone, that is for sure. But the Roosters, they'll have a second chance here to try and close the margin to 4 and then to 2 perhaps. Lamb, away now to Crichton. Standing outside of the scrum in that. Here is Collins now. So Sam Verrills has come out onto the field at dummy half. Here is a run now from Butcher. Well handled there to the ground by Waddell. And then by Kurt de Luis. Verrills, Lamb throws it long, tapped on by Tuipulotu, picked up by Ikavalu, and Ikavalu breaks away from Sirinen before being put down by Fainu. They're 5 metres away here, the Roosters. Here is Lamb. Last tackle now for the defending premiers. Can they hit back? Verrills, Lamb, Grubbers, and dived on there well by Hodkinson. So the Seagulls now trying to get themselves out of their own end here. Of course, the Seagulls have lost 5 of their last 6 official matches, that is, when leading or level at halftime, including their last 2. They haven't had a really good record in recent times, haven't they? While the Roosters have lost 24 of their last 28 official matches when they've trailed at halftime, including 10 of the last 13. 8 of the last 10, 7 of the last 8, and the last 2. So Hodkinson kicks from inside the 40 under pressure. Taken well there by Kieran Moss. And Moss now looking potentially for some support there, but he is brought down well by Surley as well as Sirenen. Tui Pelotu now. They're 7 short of halfway here. Verrills, a little juggle there from Asu Kepawawa as he goes beyond the halfway line. Lamb away now to Crichton. Crichton offloads away, gets it away well there, picked up by Josh Curran. And Curran is now brought to the ground here eventually by the number 22 in Andy Saunders. They're 27 away here. Verrills now running from dummy half. Lamb at dummy half now. Lamb, Grubbers, knocked on there, and they're in the Roosters! And it is Ed Murphy who scores! Ed Murphy scores for the Sydney Roosters. He was named in the 2017 Intra Super Premiership Team of the Year. And now he has scored a try here in a trial for the Sydney Roosters after playing 2 NRL matches previously. Back for the South Sydney Rabbitohs in 2016, of course. It was a nice grubber kick there from Lamb. Knocked on by Tavita Funa. And Ed Murphy cleaning up the scraps. How good is that? And really now that changes the complexion here of this one. Especially if Brock Lamb can narrow the margin here to 2. The Roosters surely now within striking distance as we near towards half time. Less than 6 minutes to go until the break. And Lamb makes no mistake. And it is a 2-point ball game here at Central Coast Stadium. Sea Eagles 12, the Sydney Roosters 10. We're back underway here. 5 minutes to go until the break. And it is a 2-point ball game here at Central Coast Stadium. Here is Curran now with a colourful headgear. Playing it just short of his own 30-metre line. And now Collins driving and picking up about 14 or 15 metres there to be within 7 of halfway. And now Verrills away now to the strong charging Farmers Silly. And now Verrills, Lamb, and a little juggle again there from Angus Crichton. It's having a bit of a tough start here tonight for the Sydney Roosters. Of course, made 29 tackles against the Roosters back in the preliminary final last year as the Roosters grubber into touch. The lights now really starting to take effect as the sun has set here in Gosford. Always a beautiful place to come and watch rugby league. The marina and the bay. It's always a good sight. But for the Sea Eagles now, they'll be looking to score a try up the other end, up that picturesque end of Central Coast Stadium. They lead by 2 points here if you're just joining us. A couple of early tries for the Sea Eagles by their number 13 in Corey Waddell, and of course their number 11 in Jack Gibson. The Roosters scoring 2 tries of their own, one by Matt Ikuvalu and the other by Ed Murphy. The one by Ed Murphy converted by Brock Lamb, but the one by Ikuvalu not converted by Brock Lamb. As the Sea Eagles now trying to burst their way through. Here's a strong run now beyond the halfway line by Sipley. And he has lost the ball. Knock on there by Tofo of Sipley. And the Roosters will get the ball with about 2.5 to go until half time. It was a brilliant break, a brilliant offload initially by Sirenen to give Sipley the chance to break away, but Ed Murphy and Curran from behind almost putting him in a sack and forcing the ball loose. So the Roosters now, can they perhaps take the lead here on the stroke of half time? Here is Kepawawa now, brought down well there by the number 22 in Saunders, as well as Sirenen. Verrills, Lamb away now to Collins. Great tackle there by Gosford. And now Verrills away now to Farmacelli. Lovely short pass, but knocked on there by Curran. And the Sea Eagles looking to spread here. Surly now. The Sea Eagles will be looking to keep this one pretty safe here through the middle, you would think. Here is Brendan Elliott now, of course, joining the Sea Eagles this year from the Gold Coast Titans. And now Fainu, Hodkinson to Surly, trying to fend off Tuipulotu, gets away, but he can't get away there from Ikuvalu as he's brought down about 36 away. Garrick, Hodkinson, Fainu, shows, short pass here. And they're stopped to about 36 away here, the Sea Eagles. Sipley playing the ball. LG out the back now. Here is Elliott now, and well contained there by Kepawawa as well as Curran. Funa. LG launches a high crossfield kick. And dropped by Ikuvalu, picked up by the Sea Eagles, and Garrick offloads away to Fainu. Fainu looking to step his way through and is brought down well by Tupaniwa. They're 4 metres away here. Saunders, can he get over? He has! Andy Saunders has scored for the Sea Eagles, and for the Roosters right on the stroke of half time. That hurts! So Hodkinson now looking to put the exclamation point on this first half cake. And he makes no mistake. And at half-time here at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford, it is the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles leading over the Sydney Roosters by 18 points to 10 here on NRL.com. Can the Roosters come back in the second half with their understrength team? Or will the Sea Eagles, understrength but only slightly, hang on and grab a vital win in their own minds perhaps before the start of the 2019 season? We'll take a break, and the second half is not too far away. And welcome back to all our viewers, not only in Australia and New Zealand, but across the globe, for the second half of this pre-season trial match before the start of the 2019 NRL season between the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles and of course the Sydney Roosters. The Sea Eagles lead by 8 as we're about to start this second half here in Gosford. Can the Sea Eagles grab themselves a confidence-boosting win after losing last week at Southern Cross Group Stadium against the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks? Or will the Sydney Roosters, the defending premiers, fight back with an understrength team to grab what would be an even morale-boosting victory, an even bigger one, considering that they're really completely understrength with the exception of Angus Crichton, Nat Butcher and perhaps Matic Avalu. So Tavita Funa to get us back underway here at Central Coast Stadium. The final tune-up before the start of the season, and that's a beautiful kickoff from Tavita Funa. The perfect start to the second half. And can they score a try here in the opening moments here? What a brilliant kickoff from Funa. So, can the Sea Eagles extend their lead to 12 and perhaps 14? Looking to spread it through the hands now. Here, I believe, here is the number 16 and Frank Winterstein. Actually, it's the number 19 and Jade Anderson. Here is Winterstein, I believe. No? Believe that was DeLuise. And now, out the back now, through the hands. Anderson, away now to the number 23. And he's got there. Or has he? Now it's a knock-on. A knock-on there from Dane Akafalau. And the Roosters will restart from the 20. That's a huge let-off for the defending premiers, who are, of course, under strength here tonight. Tui Pilotu to play the ball. Here is Asu Kepawawa now, who has jumped on his back superbly there by the number 25 in Charles Shepherd. Crichton now. Verrills, Lamb, away now to Curran. They're 38 metres away here, the Roosters. A bit of an awkward one there at the play the ball for Curran. And now Tupaniwa now driving to within about 27 of the line. Verrills, last tackle, Lamb off a step, goes high. Taken superbly though by the winger in Garrick. No, actually it's the number 25 as they start the second half in Charles Shepherd, who has come out onto the field, of course, for this second half. Fainu. Away now to the strong charging Akafalau. The Sea Eagles trying to build here towards halfway. Here is Saunders. Good low tackle there from Collins and up high by Crichton. Fainu. Oh, what a hit from Curran! And he's lost the ball there. Knock on there against Sean Kepi, but this was a crunching hit. Not only by Curran, also Collins involved, but most of the impact made by Curran. Crunching. So the Sydney Roosters with scrum just short of halfway here. Verrills looking to spread it here. Lamb away now to Tui Pilotu. the very talented Christian Tuipulotu, the young teenager. And now Tupaniwa now to play the ball, about 37 away. Verrills, Lamb runs and can only pick up about 8. They're 30 metres away here, the Roosters. Can they score the opening try of the second half? Crichton breaks straight through and scores his first try, I guess unofficially, for the Sydney Roosters. That was brilliant. Some weak left edge defence there from the Sea Eagles. Beautiful ball from Lachlan Lamb to Crichton. And Crichton just burst his way through. Of course, was ruled out of the 2019 World Club Challenge after failing to recover from off-season shoulder surgery. But just 2 weeks later, well, just under 2 weeks later, I should say, he is fit and firing, and he is looking the goods, isn't he? So Brock Lamb now looking to narrow the margin to 2. Steps up, strikes it, it looks good, and it is very good. 18-16 Sea Eagles. Been a fairly entertaining match so far here tonight at Central Coast Stadium. Here live on NRL.com across Australia and New Zealand, and indeed across the world, as Curran loses the ball backwards and picked up by Collins, but it's been ruled a knock-on. Knock-on there from Josh Curran, and the Sea Eagles have the opportunity to hit back immediately. Sea Eagles have scored 20 points or more in 5 of their last 7 official matches, that is, including 2 of their last 3. Can they break past the 20-point barrier here? Fainu away now to the number 21 in Sean Keppie. They're 4 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. The number 14 now in Docker Clay. Away now to the 15 in Cade Cust. They're 2 metres away here, Fainu. They could be in here, the Sea Eagles, but driven backwards there by Tupaniwa, as well as Curran, the big front rower, and Kurt DeLuise. The Sea Eagles driving. They're a metre short here. Fainu spreads it through the hands now, and they're in! They're in, the Sea Eagles! And it is Abbas Miski, the Lebanese international, who scores the Sea Eagles' opening try of the second half to stretch their lead back out to 6. It was brilliant play through the hands. Cuss getting the ball on to the number 20 in Thuna. And then Abbas Miski finishing off the job for the Sea Eagles. He's an underrated talent, is Abbas Miski. Of course, represented Lebanon at the 2017 Rugby League World Cup, scoring a double against Tonga as they came oh so close to upsetting Tonga in that quarter-final in Christchurch. Of course, scored a try for the Wentworthville Magpies in the 2018 Ron Massey Cup Grand Final in defeating St Mary's by 38 points to 4. And of course also scored a try for the Ron Massey Cup Reps in their win over the Newcastle Rebels in 2018. So Tavita Funa now to take the shot at goal. Looking to make it an 8-point lead. Picture of focus. Steps up. Strikes it, but it is waved away, curled away to the left. And it remains 22-16 with just over 29 minutes to go. So Lachlan Lamb gets us back underway. And charging it back straight off the back fence here. I believe it is Perrott. And a penalty here for the Sea Eagles. Penalty here for Manly. And they kick for touch here quickly via the boot here of Cade Cust. So Miski takes the tap. And is put down well there by Murphy as well as Asu Kepawawa. Fainu away now to Saunders. Saunders driving the Sea Eagles to within 5 of halfway. Fainu, Cust, dummies and crunched to the ground there by Crichton, and over the top came Farmer-Silly. Fainu, Winterstein, a big fend off there, offloads away, Winterstein again, and is stopped about 17 away by Crichton. Can the Sea Eagles extend their lead here beyond the converted try? Here is the number 14 now in Zach Docker-Clay. They're 5 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. Perrott out the back, Cust puts in the grubber, well handled there by Kero Moss as he's taken to the ground there by the number 16 and Frank Winterstein. The Roosters now, they've got a tall order here in the final 28 minutes of this one, trailing by 6 and with an understrength team, of course. They really need to be the next ones to score here, you sense, if they want a chance to go in to the 2019 season with a W against their name. Verrills away now to Butcher. Last tackle now for the Roosters. Lachlan Lamb will kick long just outside the 40. Taken well though by the number 25 in Charles Shepherd. And he is brought down right on his own 30-metre line. The Sea Eagles lead by 22 points to 16 if you're just joining us. Looking pretty good here against this understrength Roosters outfit as Zach Docker-Clay almost made a break there. Here is Kepi. They're 30 away. Fainu looking to spread it here. Docker-Clay away now to the number 24 in Tyler Castle. And now the kick being put up. Knocked on there by Kepawawa and then knocked dead by Brock Lamb. And that will be a line dropout, I believe, here for the Roosters. This one has warmed into being a cracker as Brock Lamb takes the line drop out about 46 metres on the fly there. And here comes Lloyd Perrott. They're 36 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. Here is Saunders now. They lead by 6 with just over 25 minutes to go here. Fainu out the back, Cust through the hands now. The ball is with the number 23 in Dane Akafalau. They're 5 metres away. Looking to spread it out wide now. Cust, dummies, and he goes over! Cade Cust scores for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles to break this game wide open. Magnificent play from Manly, spreading it through the hands. And then a big step there from Cade Cust, and he stepped his way through, including Kieran Moss. That was just simply classy from Cust. So Tavita Thuna from right in front, or basically adjacent to the post. Steps up. And he makes no mistake for 28-16. Back underway here in Gosford. And here is Saunders. Big crunching hit there by Fletcher Baker. Here is Miskey. Getting the Sea Eagles just outside their own 20. Perrott now. Big charging run here from the big front rower. They're 8 short of halfway now. Here's a run now from Denzel Tanese. And now spreading it through the hands now, away now to the number 24 in Tyler Castle. Last tackle now for the Sea Eagles. Shapes the kick. Now with Cust. Puts it up. Taken superbly there by Miskey. Gets it away there almost to Jade Anderson. And an opportunity, a half opportunity at that goes begging. So a mistake there from the Sydney Roosters. What a crunching tackle from Perrott. Powerful tackle there from Lloyd Perrott. And now the Sea Eagles can go out on the attack here and maybe put this one to bed with just over 21 minutes to go. The Roosters, I should say, cannot afford to concede here. Otherwise, their chances of winning this trial will be numbered, that is for sure. Docker Clay to play the ball. Here's a big strong charge now by Sean Keppie. They're 3 metres away here. Cust out the back, through the hands, away to Miski, and he's over! Abbas Miski scores his second try. But I believe it's been called back. It has been called back, and it's a penalty for an obstruction, I believe. Penalty for the Roosters. So the Roosters now take the tap after kicking for touch. Here is Butcher. Verrills. Away now to Setafano Hulla. They're about 12 short of halfway here, the Roosters. They really need to be the next ones to score here, you sense. Backs right up against the wall. A very rare position for the defending premiers to find themselves in, although none of the 17 that played in last year's grand final are playing tonight. Verrills. Out the back now, Hulla, Lamb, and a knock on here from Nat Butcher. And the ball is being picked up here by the Sea Eagles. Abbas Miski now running from dummy half. They're 37 away here. Here is a strong run now by the number 24 in Tyler Castle. Here is Sean Kepi. They're 15 away. Parrott now. Lovely ball here for Saunders, but he can't get the offload away. Good tackle there from Butcher. Parrott now goes for the line again. Oh, he's lost the ball, I think. But a penalty here for the Sea Eagles. Oh, he came oh so close here. But he couldn't get the ball across the line. Penalty in the lead-up, not with the actual try-scoring motion. And now the Sea Eagles now looking to extend their lead beyond 2 converted tries. Here is Denzel Tanese, he gets there! Tanese has scored for the Sea Eagles! He just got the ball on the line, and the Sea Eagles extend their lead to 16. That was brilliant from Denzel Tanese. Brilliant run, brute strength, and he just got the ball on the line. Right there. So Tavita Funa now to have the shot at goal. It's been a breathtaking performance from the Sea Eagles. We all know that it would be a much more competitive game with both teams at full strength. Of course, the Roosters at full strength would be a much more formidable force against this Manly team. Of course, they play each other in round 2 at Lottoland on a Saturday night. So Funa now. Steps up from right in front and makes it 34-16. So Lachlan Lamb about to get us back underway here. Of course, missed out on playing in the World Club Challenge and playing up against the Wigan Warriors, who are coached by his father, the great Adrian Lamb. But it's now the Sea Eagles now looking to build back up the other end and perhaps score another try to really put this one to bed. So Tanise, Cust, stepping and almost breaking through there and put to the ground by Collins. Tanise, away now to Perrott. And Perrott held up nicely there by Collins. And now Tanise, Cust, dummies, steps, gives it off now to the number 14. And he almost breaks his way through Docker Clay. Tanise, Cust on the last, puts it up. Not a bad kick, well handled there by Kepawawa. And he is put to the ground there by the number 20 in Tavita Funa. Kieran Moss now. Of course, a part of the North Sydney Bears squad for the 2019 Intra-Super Premiership season. And now Verrills away now. As the Roosters build towards halfway. Tuipulotu playing the ball. And here is Baker. Lamb, I should say, kicking long from dummy half. Bouncing back infield. Picked up well here by Anderson, I should say. And he's put to the ground well by Christian Tuipulotu. The Sea Eagles leading by 34 points to 16 over the Roosters. If you're just joining us live on NRL.com across the world, the Sea Eagles have had the running for basically the entire match, you feel. The Roosters haven't been able to handle the power and the speed here of the Sea Eagles, and Winterstein almost losing the ball there. As they go down the blind side, Cust kicking it ahead, picked up well by Funa, throws it back in, but it goes into touch, doesn't know! Picked up well here by Curran, and Curran is put to the ground by Jade Anderson. That was exhilarating. Verrills at dummy half. Collins! Of course, one of the 3 Roosters players to play in the World Club Challenge against the Wigan Warriors just under a couple of weeks ago. Tuipulotu away now to Ikavalu, stepping back in and is brought to the ground about 33 away. Tupanua away now to Baker. Offloads away. Verrills away now to Tupaniwa. And Tupaniwa is wrapped up well by Tyler Castle, as well as the number 21 in Sean Kepi. Last tackle now for the Roosters. A high kick and knocked on there spectacularly by Asu Kepawawa. He really launched himself for that one, but there was no chance that he was going to get there. Beautiful kick from Drew Hutchinson, of course. Who, of course, joins the Sydney Roosters from the Lee Centurions, of course. Of course, he was the first choice halfback for the St George Illawarra Dragons for the 2017 season. That was before he did his ACL late in 2016, before the 2017 season. The Dragons were devastated, and the Sea Eagles have lost the ball. Just going back to Drew Hutchinson, of course, he was the first choice halfback for the St George Illawarra Dragons for the 2017 season. He's played 4 NRL matches for the Dragons from 2015 to 2016. But of course suffered that ACL injury in December of 2016 and missed the entire 2017 season as a result. The Dragons team as a whole, including coach Paul McGregor at the time, were devastated when he did his knee. As the Roosters exploit their way through for Ikavalu, and Ikavalu gets there! Simply too strong there, and he gives the Roosters some hope. Matt Ikavalu scores his second try. This was simply powerful from Ikavalu. He held it above the ground all the way until he needed to slam the ball down. So it will be Drew Hutchinson to have the shot at goal. Looking to narrow the margin here. And it's hit the post, I should say. And it is no goal for the Roosters, and the margin remains at 14. The Sea Eagles 34, the Roosters 20. And again, it was a brilliant setup through the hands, and then Ikavalu managing to finishing off the job after that brilliant ball from Lamb. So we're back underway here. 8 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here at Central Coast Stadium. And the Roosters get themselves a relieving penalty. A much needed one at that. And really they need to score again in quick succession. I hope you're enjoying the coverage here on NRL.com. Live and exclusive on NRL.com. Here is Satili Tupaniwa, a bit of a high knee there, almost into the face there of Tyler Castle. And now here is Farmer Silly, driving to within 41 of the line. Garvey, Collins, out the back, Hutchinson throws it long out wide now to the number 19. And taken almost in a touch, but that was thrown forward, I believe. Picked up well there by Kepawawa. They're 22 metres away here, the Roosters. Here is Butcher now. Stopped nicely there by Perrott as well as Kurt DeLuise. They're 12 away. Garvey, Hutchinson, Lamb, I should say, away now to Moss, stepping, running, looking for a hole here, but he can't break his way through, and brought down well by Castle, but a penalty. A high shot there, I think, by Tyler Castle. And they will certainly take the tap here, the Roosters. They have to. 6.5 minutes to go here. Can the Roosters narrow the gap? Collins now driving and almost gets there. Held up well, I believe, by Winterstein. Garvey away now to Butcher, and Butcher doesn't get there. He's lost the ball. Knock on there from Nat Butcher, and that was tremendous defence from the Sea Eagles. The Sea Eagles take the quick tap. Brilliant run from Anderson. Here is Miskey now trying to break his way through. He stopped a metre short of halfway. Tanise. Away now to the strong running Funa. They're 40 metres away here, the Sea Eagles. Here is Sean Kepi. Tanise. Cast. Out the back now through the hands. Beautiful pass away there to the number 24 in Castle. And now Perrott now. Charging. Running across field. Gets it away to Winterstein. Winterstein targets Butcher. And loses the ball, and the ball is with Asu Kepawawa. The Roosters' defence hanging on there by a single thread. Here is Tui Pelotu. Lamb. Away now to Mati Kavalu. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to score. 3 tries, you sense. 3 tries, and to have at least 2 of them converted. Here's Tupaniwa now. Bowled over on halfway. Garvey. He's looking to spread it. Hutchinson out the back. 6 more tackles here for the Roosters. The ball is with Kepawawa, and he is brought down well by Winterstein. Geez, that was a crunching tackle. Penalty. Penalty for the Roosters. Not getting off the ball carrier there, the Sea Eagles. And Hutchinson kicks for touch. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Kepawawa takes the tap. Here is Butcher. Penalty. Another penalty. And they take the quick tap again. If that was a real NRL game, he might have been spending 10 minutes in the bin. And a knock on here from Garvey. A hugely bad mistake there from Craig Garvey, who of course played in the NRL All-Stars game just over a fortnight ago. And surely Manly are going to hang on. So Cuss feeding the scrum. So the Sea Eagles, you sense, are home now. They got the West Tigers in a fortnight in round 1 at Leichhardt Oval. Then of course their match up with the Sydney Roosters in round 2 at Lottoland. Then in round 3 they host the New Zealand Warriors over in Christchurch. And then in round 4 it's back home to Lottoland, their true home, to take on Wayne Bennett and his South Sydney Rabbitohs. Perrott, Cust, through the hands now, Anderson. And the Sea Eagles are stopped about 45 away here. Funa playing the ball. Cust, away now to Perrott. Oh, and a bit of tension there between Perrott and Farmacelli. The Sea Eagles offloading away there and crunched there, Cust by, I believe that was either Collins or Hutchinson. They put in the kick here, Cust, and it rolls into touch. Looking ahead here for the Sydney Roosters. They played the South Sydney Rabbitohs, of course, in round 1. A lot of feeling between those 2 traditional rivals, of course. It'll be the 45th meeting between the 2 at the SCG. And then in round 2, they take on the Sea Eagles, of course, as I just mentioned before. Then in round 3, they go to ANZ Stadium to take on the Parramatta Eels. And then in round 4, it is home at the Sydney Cricket Ground up against Anthony Seibold and his Brisbane Broncos outfit. So a pretty good draw there to start off the season there for the Sydney Roosters. But you would expect to say that, since they are the defending premiers, of course, you don't think they'll be too concerned over this performance in the truth. in the whole truth, I guess, as the Roosters make a mistake, and now we're going through the motions now. The Sea Eagles looking to pack a scrum here, and they stop the clock with just over 40 seconds left. On the big screen it says 40.7 seconds left, but on your game clock, on your scoreboard graphic, it says 40 seconds left. So the Sea Eagles, can they put the icing on the cake and the cherry on top on this pre-season performance? Lovely kick, looking for Miski! And he gets himself a hat-trick! What a moment for the young man! Jeez, he's a star!
Crossing from number 18 for the Sea Eagles, Arthur Beetson.
Jeez, he's a star, Abbas Miski. So it'll be Charles Shepherd to take the final shot at goal of the night. It has been a magnificent night for the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles, looking to make it 40 points to 20. And he misses well to the right, but it doesn't matter. The Sea Eagles grab themselves a morale-boosting win. He is brilliant, Abbas Miski. A double on the night, and it finishes up the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles 38, the Sydney Roosters 20. It has been a wonderful night here at the Central Coast Stadium. The Sea Eagles shown themselves to be potentially a formidable force in 2019, but it is the Sydney Roosters, despite losing tonight, who will start off season 2019 as the ones to beat. Thank you for your company here tonight. My name is Ryan Eckford, and it is a very good evening here from Gosford.